I think that one comes first. On time this week. Give it a minute to. Still frozen.
Is it in the drink jar or is it?
It holds the cool in the drink jar. Wait until somebody pops in there. I didn't even put Adam on the screen up there too if he wants to be, but if he's paying attention. Okay. All right, welcome to Wednesday night. What name are we calling it now?
I don't know.
Steve and Kate After Dark. Team Blaney After Dark.
Team Mez after dark?
Team Mez After Dark. Really. This could be.
We haven't workshopped anything.
No, I'm just ranting. Could be a Team Blaney or Team Mez takeover on Monday, depending on the weather in Atlanta. Although it looks good. 24% chance of rain Saturday in Atlanta. So I don't think it's going to be too bad. Tonight we decided let's start talking about the in-season challenge. If you guys followed us on TikTok especially, and I think Adam posted the clip on Facebook, our interview that we got with Ryan a week ago, not a week ago, last Friday night, we interviewed Ryan. We chopped up some little clips, and one of them was basically about this tournament. Now, little did we know he'd take the commercial.
Yeah.
For TNT and for the tournament, but that's pretty cool commercial. It's cool to see. What we're gonna do tonight, I'm gonna make my picks live for the tournament. I've already been challenged online by some people that I have to pick Ryan to win, and you know that I'll probably figure out a way to make that sound good. So the brackets are kind of, if you want to go ahead and Kate has like the explanation of how NASCAR explains this bracket challenge.
Just in case you haven't seen it or don't know what we're talking about. The NASCAR In-Season Challenge is a single elimination tournament with a bracket format featuring the top 32 drivers and points after a specific race. The challenge consists of 5 rounds, with each round taking place at a different track. Drivers advance by finishing higher than their opponent in a head-to-head matchup. The ultimate winner of the challenge receives $1 million prize. Top 32 drivers in the Cup Series point standing after the designated race, after the Coca-Cola 600, according to J-Ski, are eligible for the challenge. Drivers are seeded based on their best finish in 3 designated races: Michigan, Mexico City, and Pocono. The challenge follows a single elimination bracket format similar to March Madness, with the field decreasing from 32 to 16 to 8 to 4, final 2. Drivers are paired in head-to-head matchups, and the driver with the better finish in each race advances. Pretty self-explanatory. Yes, and the winner receives $1 million.
Yeah, and sponsored by DraftKings. And if there's a perfect bracket, the person with the perfect bracket gets $1 million. And I think if the winner of the whole thing, if there's just the actual winner, I think they said $10,000. So tonight we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do my bracket live on air tonight. Kate, I think, has already done hers. So we'll go through each of the matchups. I say Brian, what's going on, Brian, on Facebook tonight? I've already seen. Looks like Chelsea's in there. Yes, Chelsea, I think, was asking about this. Just don't let us forget to bring it to Dover. So Brian says he's already signed up on the NASCAR app for that. That's great. Kind of interesting because they picked the 32 drivers after, like you said, after Charlotte. And I don't know if anybody looked, but there's one guy I think missing that probably would have done a lot of damage in this tournament. And that's Shane Van Gisbergen. Was not in the top 32 in points after Charlotte. So that kind of is why that happened. And the way they figured the seedings was kind of weird because it was based on your best finish in those 3 races. And if you listen to the Ryan clip today, I'm sure everybody's hopefully seen it on our TikTok. He even says after Mexico City, he looked to see what his seating was at that point, and he goes, "Oh, I better do a little better here." But finishing third, and then however their tiebreakers are with other people who finished third and second and first, he ended up seventh overall. And his matchup is really kind of interesting for this week. So the first thing is to think about when you're making these picks, I think, is what track everybody's going to be at. Like, and they couldn't have picked at least the first three tracks. They're more like crazy to make your picks. Because Atlanta's now drafting track, so who knows? We saw crazy people finish in the top 10 in the spring. I think did Hocevar finish in front of Ryan in the spring after all that? So I mean, Hocevar was up there, Ryan was up there, so even within that matchup, when we talk about that matchup, so let's go ahead and we'll start going through like each round. We'll go through each pick, and we've got the board back here that we'll post pictures of that periodically during the next couple weeks as we fill it out and get closer to the winner. So they got matchup 1, Denny Hamlin being the number 1 seed, going against Ty Dillon, and all they got to do is finish higher than the other guy. So it's pretty simple. It should.
Yeah, but one blown tire, one rotor issue, one going down close pit road or something could change everything.
Great that you picked that going down a closed pit road. That's pretty good. Just saying. Not that you haven't seen it lately or nothing. That's pretty good. Yeah, or the rotor. So, I mean, it's pretty simple for me. I'm going to pick Denny Hamlin. I'm not sure who you picked with your first pick there.
I picked Denny.
Yeah, I was Hocevar was P2, Ryan was P4 in the spring. So, so now we go down to matchup number 2. We're just gonna, like I said, go right down the line the way it's set up on the NASCAR app. Kyle Busch versus Brad Keselowski at 16 and a 17 seed overall. Yeah, Boo Hamlin. We got somebody, Boo Hamlin. Yeah, well, first round, he's gonna get away with a first round one. This is interesting. Kyle Busch is, what was the stat you gave me about since the new configuration of Atlanta Motor Speedway? Top 10s?
The last 5 races, there's only 2 drivers that have had top 10s in the last 5 races.
5 races at Atlanta.
Ryan and Kyle.
Ryan and Kyle Busch is the other guy. So,
but I picked Keselowski.
All right. Well, I
think he's going to buckle down from last week. And
okay. You talked me into.
I don't want you to have the same thing. I'm not telling you anymore.
No, it'll change here soon.
I'm done.
Sure. No, it'll change soon. So the next matchup is Bowman and Logano. And I'm going to go. Yeah, I'll go with my pick, and then you can say your pick. How's that?
Okay.
That way you can't help me with my opinion.
Okay.
I'm going to go. Let's see now. Bowman's an 8 seed, and Logano's a 25 seed, and you throw the seeds out the window.
I did. I didn't look at them.
Yeah, Logano's had a couple.
I don't know why you keep talking about them because I don't think they mean. Yeah.
We're gonna pick Logano in this round.
I pick Joseph this one.
The fourth matchup, Bubba Wallace and Daniel Suarez. Now, of course, Daniel's won this race, but Bubba's really good at plate racing.
Bubba's just been really hot lately, so I picked Bubba.
I'm just gonna go Bubba anyway.
I mean, I know last week.
Last week was.
I just think this. Yeah.
Not his fault at all. Matchup number 5. John Hunter Nemechek and Josh Berry. I think Josh Berry. I think right now on this track, Penske.
Yeah, I went with
just with the way the track is.
I mean, I'm sorry, I went with Berry.
So let's get to next matchups. Hamlin and
Austin.
Oh no, where am I missing? Matchup number 5, number 6 is.
You said Hamlin.
Oh, Elliott.
Elliott and
Dillon.
I'm like, what?
Sorry. Elliott and Dillon, and man, I want to pick an upset, but I just don't see it yet. I don't see, and watch, there'll be 6 laps in, there'll be a crash. 10 guys will pile up and mess everything up. So let's see what, I'm going to go with Chase Elliott. And I know I'm going to get messed up on that. Did you take Austin? There it is. There's an upset. The next one down is Chastain and Eric Jones. Yeah, I got to go with Chastain.
I did too.
I can't avoid them. And the next matchup is Christopher Bell and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. That's interesting. We know that Stenhouse is very good too at this stuff, but Bell finished pretty high up. I can't back away from Bell either. This is like getting to be too much chalk. Terrell Nemechek. You guys trying to do Nemechek in the chat there, and it's kind of messing up with Nemechek. So the next matchup will be Chase Briscoe and Gregson. And Briscoe just won a race. I think that takes the pressure off of him. But he's still gonna. I think Briscoe's still gonna finish well over, and over Gregson at least.
We're not saying he's gonna win. We're just saying he's gonna beat
him.
Gregson. And yes, I put that he is.
Here's another good one: Priest and Byron. Priest and Byron. If we got Brad doing well, I think Priest is going to do well too. We're gonna take Priest over Byron. I think Byron gets knocked out right here, first round.
This one over here, is that Facebook?
Yes, Facebook.
Someone's already picked my pick at the end. Someone already got it.
All the way down. Okay. Well, I just knocked him out. So
Who'd you knock out?
I just knocked out. No, I knocked out Byron. I'm sorry. I just knocked Byron out. So I know that's going to be a lot of people's picks. Okay, Ryan and Hostbar. Now, like I said, I've been challenged on this to make Ryan the winner, and I'm going to do it somehow. I'm going to figure out a way. I'm going to tell you some things that I think are going to happen and the way they're going to happen, the tracks they're going to happen at. And so right off the bat, Ryan and Hocevar, I think Hocevar's got a bullseye on him anyway from about 3 or 4 other guys. So I think somewhere before the end of the race, Hocevar will be done. And I think Ryan wins that matchup. And then the last one I'm sorry, there's still more.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch more. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Larson and Reddick. Ooh, this is another interesting one. We're going to take Larson then. Larson's not going to crash out of this race, I don't think.
Yes,
Okay. Kate says she got him.
something's going to happen. Well, no, I'm not saying he's going to crash out. I'm saying
Reddick.
like a Hocevar-ish situation or something. He might get caught up in somebody else's melee.
Yes. Now here's a part of the bracket I wanted to talk about specifically. So these next 4 matchups, there's the 3 seed in that matchup of these matchups is Chris Buescher. Besides that, everybody else, you've got Gilliland down here, Cindric, Zane Smith, Haley, Gibbs, and then Allmendinger McDowell. So in that 8 guys, Chris Buescher's the highest seed. And if Chris Buescher gets knocked out, you're going to see somebody. You could see AJ Allmendinger in the final 4. I'm just saying, or McDowell. And actually, in this round right here, I'm going to have Allmendinger beating McDowell. So Allmendinger might be my guy in the long run. So Allmendinger over McDowell there. The next one is Gibbs and Haley. And Haley, I think, finished really well at Atlanta earlier this year too. Gibbs is just a roller coaster of things. They're really good at moments and really bad. Kind of want an upset here. I'm going to go Haley here too. I'm going to go with that upset. Haley's going to get past Gibbs. Zane Smith and Austin Cindric. And like I said before, I'm going to stick with all the Penske guys because they stick together in this race this time. I think all 4 of them can be in the top 10 at the end of the race. And then the last one for Atlanta is Buescher and Gilliland. Yeah, Cindric is in the chase. You're right about that. I don't want to discount Cindric in that grouping. It's just there's some other names in that grouping that I think if they get to the final 4, will be pretty impressive. But down the bottom, Busher and Gillen, and I believe Busher. So I've got the RFK guys all doing really well in the first round. All three of them winning their matchups. So now here's where it gets interesting. So now the next round is Chicago. And with Chicago, street course. I've only been there twice. Could be interesting. So the first matchup is Hamlin Keselowski, and unfortunately, that's pretty easy. Keselowski is just not very good on the road courses, or anything like that. So I see that one pretty easy. The next one is Logano and Wallace is what I have here with my bracket, and
Yeah.
what's that?
Hendrick's in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's in the playoffs. Yeah. So we got Logano, Wallace here, and I got street course. I got Logano on that street course. Barry and Chase Elliott. Once again, this is kind of an easy pick. I'm going to go with Chase Elliott. Chastain and Bell on a street course together.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're going to go with Bell
Mhm.
on that. And then Briscoe and Priest. I think this is where Briscoe moves on. Priest on Chicago. Okay, now we're down to Blaney and Larson. And they've raced 2 road courses this year. And Ryan has beaten Larson both times. I know Adam doesn't think that Ryan's a great road course racer. But,
You don't have to win. You just have to beat that
that's
one
just to
guy.
beat that one guy. And like I said, Larson, he's beaten Larson both at Coda. And
I picked Bubba between Bubba and Suarez.
did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Jackass.
Jackass. Okay.
I'm trying to watch. People are like the comments going like that.
Sorry.
I'm trying. I'm trying to keep
We're
up.
trying to keep up.
I'm trying to keep up. You're not watching.
I should stop and let the traffic go by a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So let's see here. We're on to Allmendinger and Haley in that matchup at Chicago, and I think Allmendinger, of course. And then Cindric and Busher, and that's a great matchup down at the bottom of the bracket. Cindric is actually a really good road course racer, and so is Busher for sure. And we're going to go with Cindric. We're going to get Cindric into the next round. So now we're down to Sonoma. Round 3, Sonoma. This would be the Sweet 16. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry, we're down to 8 now. 16 down to 8. So the Elite 8, Hamlin and Logano at Sonoma. Hamlin and Logano at Sonoma.
Yeah, Justin, that's why we didn't go to Chicago, because when we looked at the prices, it just,
Yeah. It's got to be within a certain.
because I really wanted to. I really wanted to do Chicago.
Somebody comes up with a hot pass or two, we could show up there that day.
I mean,
Just saying, it's not that far.
not that far.
Hamlin Logano in the matchup at Sonoma. I'm gonna go with Hamlin. And we got Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell at Sonoma. That's a great matchup. How did I get that? Chase Elliott. We got Briscoe and Blaney, and that's pretty simple. At Sonoma, pretty good. And then Allmendinger and Cindric at Sonoma, and I think Allmendinger. So now I found a way to get Allmendinger to the Final Four.
You did?
And the other 3 guys are the guys that are like up in the standings to begin with. So now we got Dover for the round of 4. So now we're back to a mile track, concrete, and based on speed. And I'm kind of like barring, like all these situations are barring like goofy things happening to people. So I pretty much have to pick Blaney over Allmendinger, correct?
Well, you said you were going to make
I
him go
mean,
to the end.
he's going to be in, yeah.
We all heard you say
yeah.
it.
I was challenged to do so. So, and, you know.
Okay, Hamlin, Elliott.
Hamlin and Elliott. That's going to be fun. I think Hamlin. I do. I think Hamlin and Ryan make it to the final two. Hamlin likes this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hamlin helped them come up with this last year. So Hamlin and Ryan in the final two at Indianapolis, where last year, if somebody would have pulled off a lap before they come to the green, so the 12th car would have won the race. So that makes this pick pretty easy.
Yes, because you already told us who you
Well, we're going to let you go through all your picks in next time, because let's just do that next. So I've got Ryan winning it, and there's a tiebreaker, right? Somewhere. Tiebreaker is the margin, winning margin between. Okay,
what will the winning driver's win margin be in the final race at Indy? Between 0.001 and 100.
Okay, between like him and Hamlin.
Now, do this part quietly because you told everybody else.
Yeah. In case you.
So you can't tell everybody what you put.
Yeah, right.
You're not putting anything. Just
Yeah,
nothing's going on.
Okay.
That's what you think?
I think so. I think as we back their ways. We get spread out a little bit. What do you think? Close for that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we are in.
I don't know. If it wins us $1 million, I don't care.
So I think we're good. Picks are made. So let's go ahead and here are your picks. Let's hear Kate's picks all the way down the line.
Oh, you want me to start at the 32?
Well, yeah, let's bring it back a little bit.
Okay. Between Denny and Dylan, I have Denny. Bush and Keselowski, I have Keselowski. Bowman and Logano, I went with Logano. I already told you guys I went with Bubba over Suarez, and Barry over Nemechek. I picked Austin Dillon over Chase, and Chastain and Bell. Between Briscoe and Gregson, I said Briscoe because he's been hot. I'm not saying he's winning. I'm just saying he's going to be Gregson. Priest and Byron, I went with Byron. I did go with Ryan over Hocevar. I went with Tyler Reddick over Kyle Larson. That's the melee I thought. Between McDowell and Allmendinger, I went McDowell because he pops up. He can be surprising. Between Gibbs and Haley, I went with Haley. I did pick Austin Cindric over Zane Smith and Chris Buescher over Todd Gilliland.
Okay. Next round.
Between Denny and Brad, I picked Brad. Between Joey and Bubba, I picked Joey. Between Barry and Austin Dillon, I went with Josh Berry. And Chastain and Bell, I went with Bell. Let's see. Briscoe and Byron, I went with Byron. Ryan and Tyler Reddick, I went with Ryan. McDowell and Haley, I went with Haley. And Cindric and Buescher, I went with Cindric.
Just a note, they heard me type 3 things. I put a decimal in there. They thought I put 100 seconds in there. Somebody said they heard 3 keystrokes. There's a decimal in there. That's why.
Maybe.
Yes, he was 100 seconds. Okay.
Which round am I on now?
You're done with Chicago. You're into Sonoma. So that's the bigger.
This one?
Yep.
Between Keselowski and Logano. Is that what I'm in?
Mm-hmm.
I went with Logano. Barry and Bell, I went with Bell. Byron and Blaney, I did go with Byron. Haley and Cindric, I went with Cindric. Then between Joey and Bell, I went with Bell. And then Byron and Cindric, I went with Byron. So it comes down to Bell and Byron at the end. And I said Bell.
Bell. Christopher Bell. Realistic? Maybe a little more realistic. I'm thinking you're being realistic. Where'd you have Ryan losing at? At Sonoma?
Jeez, you make it sound like. I'm just saying, yes, it's Sonoma, him and Byron. I just thought Byron might end better. That's all. It could be 1-2. I don't know, but I just think.
It's very, very extremely reasonable.
You never know what could happen at any of these.
Very, very extremely reasonable. I just thought, wanted to see what your opinion was. That's all. Why you came up with that, or who you came up with, where it was too. I knew that you had him knocked out. I just didn't know where you had him knocked out.
Well, I figured you were going to end with Ryan, so I figured I'll try to find someone different to go to the end with, just so we, widen our chances a little bit. Oh, I think it was thunder.
We got a little storm coming through here soon. Hope it doesn't knock us out. So I don't know, like you guys have been typing in there in the different things here on the Facebook and in our YouTube and then also the TikTok chat here. Have you guys all done yours yet? I would kind of like get a sense of like who's got their winning pick. Team Chaos, yes. Kate's Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm the one with Allmendinger making it way, way, way deep into the playoffs. So I'm a little bit of a chaos too, I guess. Yeah, go ahead, type in real quick, guys. Who you got winning the whole thing if you've done this already? I know the points system for it. It's 150 points for filling out. They won't give them out until the brackets are locked, I guess, over the weekend. We'll get that 150 points. Mr. Busher. Okay. That's a pretty interesting one. I can see that for sure. He's got, like I said, he's got the easiest bracket to come out of for sure. Let's see who else. The Reddick Blaney matchup.
There's a Joey over there. There was a Bell up there.
Joey,
That's
okay.
what I said.
So we had Bell up there.
Mhm.
Okay. And then Joey. Yeah, that's the fun part about this is like, this first week, anything can happen. And hopefully there's not a lot of crashes, but if they do, it'll be worse than the Fantasy Live League, because Fantasy Live League gives you that one guy that you can change. There'll be no time to change it. It's locked in. It's in place. And because it's like sponsored by DraftKings, they've got like odds on every matchup too. So I'll have to take a screenshot of that. That's kind of cool.
You can pull it up whenever.
It'll be there. I can share it. Ooh, we can share. So yeah, I got of all the matchups, I can definitely see you've got Bell getting all. I can see that Bell pretty much from that bottom part. Chris Busher definitely can come through from there. Joey, where was Joey's bracket? Okay, so Joey's at the top end here, but definitely can be Bowman. The road courses, you know what? He is pretty good at the road courses, so I can see him getting out of there, which I have him that far. And they're really that matchup with Hamlin, it would be at Dover. And that's a track that Joey does well at. So I could see him, I can see Joey making his way all the way into the finals too pretty easily. So
Chelsea has Blaney Hamlin final two.
Blaney Hamlin the final two.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I actually have. So that would be okay. Well, hopefully I win by a different time.
See?
I think my gap was a good gap. I think there'll be a little bit behind each other. Might be, somebody finishing 4th and 10th, and if it's spread out a little bit, there'll be a little bit of a gap there in Indianapolis. So, anything we're talking about from Pocono at all? Your Pocono experience?
The word of the weekend was calamity. It was pure calamity and chaos all Sunday.
Rain.
We got up at 4. We left by 5. As we pulled in, we saw lightning, heard thunder, and they put them under a lightning bolt. So the gates were closed. We hung out in the car for 2 hours. 2.5 hours. Enough to make the battery of the car die.
Oh, well,
So the battery of the car died. Then they put up the announcement that everybody could go in. So everybody went in at the same time. And it's not Pocono's fault. It's just the way it all worked out. And it's mayhem.
I thought they handled it pretty well, though.
They did. Well, there's not much you can do. Everybody's going to come in at the exact same time. So it was bonkers. But I mean, we got through it. So we went from cold and rainy to within an hour. It was hot and sunny and muggy and
Yeah. Now we had gotten the paddock pass. The only bad thing about it was because of the weather, they couldn't open up the track. You couldn't go on the track. Because part of the paddock pass was to go out onto the track and sign start finish line, stuff like that. But when we did finally go through that, it's a crowded little tunnel track.
yeah, that wasn't. I didn't care for that.
Yeah, especially with all those people. But on the other side, things were spread out a little bit more, so we could get to like a concession stand if we wanted to, or find this guy.
I don't know. She just told you to square up.
Oh man,
To hold it hostage.
that's right. How bad do you want Tricky? Where's your Tricky?
It's in the other room.
Oh, okay, it has a Tricky from a long time ago. Somehow you got Tricky.
I won a contest from Pocono, and I got like a couple shirts. I got keychains. I got a hat. I got a Tricky, and I think a couple other things. I got like a whole box of stuff, and it was great because it showed up. I was living in my apartment at the time, and it showed up when I had like a terrible, terrible flu, and I just felt just down in the dumps. And then here comes this big package from Pocono. All my fun stuff.
Yeah, there was somebody on Monday night's podcast that kind of like made a comment about how I was complaining about the Wi-Fi, because I did go a little bit of a thing about the Wi-Fi there, and I was just warning people that if you go there, these are things you might encounter. That's all. I wasn't like dissing the track, because truthfully, the track as a whole is a fun place. And we would have had a lot more fun if the weather had been like that, because we would have got in there and been around and got to do things. Had time.
It had nothing to do with
No,
Pocono.
with Pocono really. Time.
It does have to do with NASCAR can make it rain wherever they go. It just, I mean, if you saw the radar and you see like the eastern side of the United States, it was just right
through there.
right through.
Right through that area. But I mean, we've gotten that Pocono.
Yeah.
Do I show them that?
We did. We did.
You can reach it out real quick.
They sent us this after we got married with Brian.
Yeah, when they found out how we met, they did a little thing and they sent us that and a shirt or something like it was autographed too. Both of them by Ryan. They knew that I know that we were Ryan fans, and they had the stuff. I don't know if they just had it on hand or something, but yeah. So the people there, Kevin Teal and his group that run the place, are fabulous.
Absolutely wonderful.
And like I said, if it wasn't for the fact that everybody kind of bum rushed the place at the same time, everything would have been great.
And it's not the people's fault either. It's just while we were in line, it was right around 2:00. So everybody, even though we knew it was going to be delayed, that was the scheduled time. So of course, peak time, everybody's there. It's the most that everybody's there. And yes, there was a huge line, but again, it's not their fault. And we got through it.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about in one of our earlier shows, we were talking about like traveling stuff, is the bags that we carry being see-through bags, clear bags, and that makes a huge difference. They walk you through a metal detector, and you went right through.
I always do.
And they didn't even look, because they can look and see your bag. Me, you always beat because of the electronics. So, but even at that, I never had to take my bag off. I just turned around. It was clear. They could look through it. If they wanted to unzip it, they could unzip it, and boom, we were done in like 30 seconds. So then the other part was that was before you actually got to the tickets where you would do the tickets. And Pocono, like I said, I don't know if they have electronic tickets. I could have pulled it up on my phone if I wanted to. They didn't have those type of scanners though, I don't think. So we printed them ahead of time, and it was really cool that we printed them because they just wanted to physically see them.
Yeah.
They did not like wait on each person and then have to scan you, wait, and have to scan you, wait. No, they just want to physically see it when you got in the door. And then I think I said this on Monday night. Then when you got inside the door, everybody was coming at the same time. So every concession stand was full. The bathrooms were pretty full right off the bat, and that kind of it got spread out within like half an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we went across the track, came back. When we came back, there wasn't hardly any lines on anything, and it was still before the race. So it just
Justin said if you need rain, bring a race to your area. They could seriously market, NASCAR could market themselves on, you want to solve your drought problem?
Yeah.
Book us for a race.
book us for a race or have Adam come to the race.
Do both. You're almost guaranteed.
He's not here to hear it, but he probably felt that where he's sitting right now. So I don't know. I think overall pretty good, and I wish I remembered that they knew the guy, knew the people's names and stuff. That we got some help in the parking lot afterward.
Yep.
Got that car back up and running, and it.
And then we got right out on the road.
Right on the road. That's another thing. I've heard some sports stories from there, but I don't know. Every time I've ever left there, it's been on that main road toward the highway. The only thing I forgot about is I thought you made a left to get on the highway, but it's actually to the right and a loop-de-loop to get on. And we were on the highway pretty quick. Matter of fact, once you got about a mile from the track, the lanes, you could have switched lanes even. It was so spread out. So, I was pretty good. There's, we have other tracks to get to, but we hadn't been there in a while too. So it was kind of cool just to go back again.
Yep.
And, Ryan finishing third wasn't a bad thing either.
We got to watch him go through the field.
Yeah. We ran into Jerry Mariotti, which was super great.
Ran into Dale Blaney. That was super great.
Oh yeah, I should tell that kind of story. So we're standing there, and that was in the paddock area. Paddock area is behind pit lane and the garage, like between that area between. And Jerry had some passes, and so he was over there, and we like texted, where are you at? We're over here, okay. And we ran into each other. Great. And no longer, we're talking maybe a minute, and Dale Blaney walks right up. Hey guys, hey, so cool because he, recognizes the song right away, and so nice. And we're working on having him on an actual episode here in the next couple of weeks. I sent a text message out today, and hopefully he's got some time in his schedule before the memorial, actually, before the Lou Blaney Memorial. He'll be running, and so look out for that coming up as we're getting closer and closer. The podcast itself is getting closer and closer to 200 episodes, so that'll be coming up in the next couple weeks too. So we might do a special episode for that. Maybe we'll have you host a special episode. You can ask Adam and I questions.
We'll see.
Anybody else have any? You guys have any questions at all? You guys typed in pretty good early on and kind of died out there. I don't know if we bored you with the picks, but we'll keep it updated, as the week goes on too. Next week we'll have the board. We'll have the actual board, and maybe we'll have it closer where you can see it. It's made up. It's started. It's ready to go. I got to make a thing there. Instead of saying that's for the playoffs, I need to make a.
I was gonna make something and just hide the word playoffs
on it.
Yeah.
This logo for the in-season bracket challenge. I think I can figure out something, print that probably, and put it on there and put it right on top. So, I don't know, anything else for this week. I think. I don't know if Saturday night, maybe I'll do like about a 15-20 minute pre-race show or something. You guys kind of let me know about that. Good question by Terry there about Adam coming on with his picks. No, although he just set up in the Discord chat, he just set up a channel for them. So I don't know if he's going to put in there his. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to show each other our picks because people pick the same as me and then we both win. I don't want
That's why your
the tiebreaker.
tiebreaker's hidden.
The tiebreaker's hidden. That's true. Okay, so
And it wasn't 100.
no, it was a little less. Like I said, there's a decimal in there. So yeah, Adam, we'll grill Adam on his picks on Monday once we find out how it went, because I think that's going to be a whole segment Monday night. We have to talk about how everybody's bracket was busted in week one, unless somebody gets all the matchups correct, all 16 correct. But I don't know. I mean, hopefully it's me. You know, he gives me $1 million.
Chelsea, you guys are going to Atlanta too?
Wow. So yeah, I think I saw Stellarius gonna be there too.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody made it but us. It's my fault. My fault. I committed to something on Sunday, and you know, I like helping out. So
We both work on Saturday too.
yeah. So yeah. So, well, we're gonna take a day and go there, but yeah. So hopefully Saturday goes well. Hopefully everybody gets to enjoy it. I know that we haven't talked about TNT now taking over, but TNT will take over the next 5 weeks for this whole thing. Oh, True TV. So if you've got DirecTV, True TV is on there also. And if you look at our whole interview with Ryan, he didn't realize this. We actually told him about this. TNT, True TV will have a separate channel. I mean, will be separate with a broadcast that is nothing but the In Bracket channel. So they're going to cover the race. I think Larry McReynolds and somebody else. They're going to cover the race and do nothing but talk about the matchups as the race is going on. This guy versus that guy. So first week or two, that's going to be fabulous because it's going to be a lot of matchups, a lot going on, a lot to talk about. As it gets down to less and less, I don't know if they're going to do after three or four races. If they'll still do it because it'll be easier. Jeff Burton, there it is. I knew it was Larry and
Thanks, Justin.
Jeff Burton. Okay. I couldn't think of who the other person was, which is great. So I don't know what it is with crew chiefs and gambling. Latard is really good at the gambling stuff too, and Larry. But yeah, those two guys on True TV, and this week I think we might have to put that on one of our channels, on our things. We watched the race with 2 TVs. So second TV is the in-car camera, and then first TV is broadcast. So I don't know yet. We might have to at least flip over to it once in a while just to see what it looks like as they're covering all the different matchups.
Well, we're not putting up a third TV. We're running out of wall space.
Bring one in on the stand or something. Just teasing.
Like one of those carts, you know, when the substitute was there at school.
That's right. That's right. Maybe not too much. Alrighty, guys. I think I'll wrap it up for this week. What do we say? Team Mez take over after dark. After dark. Kate and Steve after dark. I don't know. We're still workshopping the names. So,
None of the above.
Mamba is doing something also. Okay, I did see. What is he doing? I did see something about that. So after dark. I don't know.
Kate is awesome, and Steve is also here. Show. I like it. I think it's got a nice ring to it.
Wouldn't be a lie. Everybody knows Kate's awesome. Yeah.
And we already decided that if I had some questions to ask him actually for last week.
Yeah.
But then we ended up not going live. The first question though was, who do you think would win in a race? Between you and me. A car race.
Oh, yeah. Because what did I ask you guys?
Neither one of us are running.
How far do we got to go?
Ew. We're too old for that.
And the answer is
Me.
is Kate. Because
100% me.
Kate's actually driven a dirt car before.
And I was the only one that didn't
Crash.
wreck their car.
Crashed the car.
Might have been because I was going slow, but I was the only one that didn't wreck the car.
Learn a real speedway. will never be the same. It was pretty cool.
That's what Justin said. There you go. Kate is awesome. Steve is always there.
Oh,
No, I'm more of the lead foot of the two of us. You're more of a I'll ride behind the semi truck for 15 miles until Kate goes, just pass him.
I have to get permission first, you know. I'm driving your car. No problem. Foot race though. I know you have it.
Sure, you can have it.
Okay. Well, yeah, you saved the rest of those questions for next week.
Sure.
We'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys next Wednesday. I apologize for last Wednesday. That was on me. I just got like there was just so much going on. With the lining up of the interview. And if you haven't done that part yet, please go watch the interview.
Do it.
On YouTube, especially.
Do it.
I don't understand why it hasn't. Like the first, we interviewed Ryan, what was it, 5 or 6 weeks ago, roughly? And that interview on YouTube, if you look at the YouTube plays of it, went crazy. And it's fine. That's what it's supposed to do. It's for him, it's for us. And this one didn't jump like that just yet. Now, maybe people haven't found it yet. Maybe people haven't searched yet. So hopefully you guys find it. Like I said, the YouTube version is a lot more fun. If you don't have TikTok yet, those who aren't watching on TikTok, I try to at least take the TikToks and post them on Instagram and Facebook. The problem with that is Instagram and Facebook kind of limit down the amount of time they are in the stories. They're only allowed to be no more than a minute. So then I try to put them in reels, and that at least can put the full length. But we've got about 10 more clips from the interview that we have spliced up, ready to go. There'll be one next week heading into Chicago. There'll be something to do with Chicago, actually. So,
Chelsea, I like your name for the show. And Justin, don't give away my about the shoelace. He said before or after I cut your shoelaces.
Oh, yes. So yeah, last week was from Tuesday on was a real surprise that we were going to get to do the interview, but we did. And then today there was a news story by this one sports media, sports business journal or whatever it is, and it said that for the first period of this year, Logano's actually finished first in that. What's the word I'm looking for? What's that? The man behind it. Oh, okay, cool. What's up, Anthony? Sorry. The driver incentive program that they have, according to their reports, Logano finished first in the first period of it. Larson second, Ryan third. So we're going to do as much as we can to make sure that never happens again. We found out some of the things about the point system and about how, hopefully we can help. And, and we definitely want to see Ryan finish first in there. There's some extra cash behind that for the guys that do well. So, so hopefully look out for more from us if they let us, we definitely last week was because Pocono was the ending of that time period, and they really wanted to make sure we got that interview in, and it was really cool that Ryan he took some time out on Friday night and did that. So if you can, please go check it out. The more we do and the more they see that we can do to help them, wait, and Ryan's always so entertaining. He answers the questions so nicely. And, I should say one thing about that too. I got a bone to pick with some of these news services that aren't real news. They actually have taken like quotes from the interview and used them as if they're their own, not citing us as the source. I'll show you guys one of those in the Discord chat in the next couple of days. But yeah, so we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Let us know how your picks are going. Let us know on Facebook. Let us know on X, Instagram, if you're doing it on Instagram. Leave us a comment on how your picks are going during the week, next week. And Discord chat. We do have a Discord chat that is heavily involved with a lot of people right now. So if you haven't joined Discord yet, that's a fun place to go. A lot of people on race day are talking in there the whole time. So I say thanks to Chelsea and Justin for tuning in on TikTok to help us out too, kind of moderating in there and, keeping those people going. So I'm sorry if we didn't say hi to everybody as we were going along, but we'll catch everybody next week. Guys, have a good weekend and let's weekend.